that's how I'm wired. You know, I did the tour yesterday with everybody, and for those of you who've already done it, and those of you who are about to do it, I'm still that. It's like, even though I was in front of the camera some of the time, I like to be in the audience. Like, I go to movies and I get so excited. It's like church for me. Do you know what I mean? The popcorn, the drink, and you better not talk. It's like, you better not talk. Like, if people talk, I'm like, you know. And I have to see it right from the beginning, and I don't know anything about it, and I get so excited. And I guess my parents must have planted that in me, because we went to the theater as a family when we were young. So I'm rooting for the people on the screen, and I'm rooting for the people on the stage, and I want them to succeed. And so I would have to say I'm more of a watcher than I am I have more desire to be that and to be a cheerleader really than be in front of people on a stage necessarily. So I don't know if I'll ever get on a stage again. We'll see. I do think sometimes I need to unearth my one-woman show and just get out of my own way and do it. Because it's still relevant. You know, you would think talking about romance from 20, 25 years ago in my childhood experiences might not be relevant, but you know what? It's still all the same. It's still all the same. And I want to tell young ladies of today, you know, don't give it all away. You know, save some for yourself. Your value isn't just in how you kiss or how you embrace a man or a girl or whatever you're embracing. It's your soul, it's your heart, it's your mind, it's, you know, and that they're all connected. You know, if a boy kisses me now, I say, "Ooh, you're kissing my head and you're kissing my heart. Like, you're not just kissing my lips," you know, because it's all connected. So you want to be sure that all those parts of you want to go there, not just the physical part of you. You know, we're not just physical beings. And I think when I was a young woman, I got caught up in the physical part of it because it was so fun and so intoxicating, right? And it made you feel so, the adrenaline was like, "Ooh, I've got something here." But it's really, you know, but it's fleeting. And that's not what, do you know what I mean? What carries you forward with someone else. It's way more than that. And I think, you know, I want to make sure young ladies know it's all connected. Don't sell yourself short. So maybe you girls that are kind of a little older can relate to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? We girls, young ladies can mistake lust for love. I think, you know, easier than boys perhaps, and we have to be careful with our hearts and ourselves, you know, not to make that mistake too many times, you know. Anyway, what else can we talk about?
What did you guys put on? I was just rewatching. I'm a huge Scarecrow Mrs. King fan.
Oh, for heaven's sakes!
I came across yours. I was like,
Lord, you're digging up all my industrial credits. Good Lord. I used to jokingly say the reason I was on Murder, She Wrote was because the producers went to the Rolodex and they went, "Holy crap, we have worked with every actress in Hollywood, some of them twice, and the only one we haven't worked with is Robin Curtis. We have to hire her. It doesn't matter if she's good, bad, or indifferent. We have to freaking hire her." So
Kate Mulgrew was on Murder, She Wrote 3 times, and twice she was the bad guy.
Do you love it? Well, see, they liked her. They liked her, and she's a good bad guy.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, she has a good. I saw Robin.
Sweet. Did you guys hear me say earlier? I was in Disneyland. How many World?
Disney World.
How many years ago? 10? 12?
Over 10, because it's been 10 years since we saw you at MegaCon.
Okay. So over 10 years ago,
yeah.
I'm in Disney World with my partner, the builder.
Mm-hmm.
The boys had to be with us, but maybe they weren't with us in that moment. Maybe they were on a ride.
Yeah, it was just.
I don't think he and I ever went alone.
Because we passed you. Y'all were going up to the back to where the carousel, and we were coming down towards the front. And you couldn't go through the center. You had to go around the side.
Right.
And we saw you, and we're like, that looks like Robin Curtis. And so you, just as you got even, was like, "Hi, Robin." And you're like, "What?" And I was wearing my Sea-Trek shirt.
She had her Sea-Trek t-shirt on, and I'm on the t-shirt. I'm like, what are the chances of this happening? Holy crap. Anyway, it was a beautiful
And you looked on his face, he's like,
moment.
"Does this happen to you all the time?"
No.
You're like, "No.
No.
Just with
no.
these really crazy ones."
Yeah.
And then we get to MegaCon, and she decides to, we're talking, sitting there talking to her, and all of a sudden she starts going, "Yeah." She goes, "I went to Disney World one time, and this family recognized me and said hello." And we just started busting out. We're like, "That was us."
the time.
One of my coworkers actually got the information. He wrote an episode for Voyager.
Really?
He's an actor.
Wow.
He's like a local actor, but he sent me. I actually have it in my house.
Did they shoot it?
I don't know if they shot it
Oh.
or not, but he did send me. I still have. He let me borrow it. I've had for like the past 3 years. All the information, like the stuff they send to the writers about
cool.
the synopsis of Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I haven't voluntarily given it back yet, but those are just really cool. That
Well, yeah, I find, generally, if people ask me to describe,
he's a big Trek
people who are into to Star Trek, I say, well, they're some of the most creative, intelligent,
That's what
politically
it is.
astute, open-hearted, charitable, giving people I've ever met. I mean,
That's one of his job titles, a creative. At
Yeah.
my store. I work at the Apple store.
Oh, do you
I've
really?
been there
Yeah.
17 years. So
Cool. Wow.
yeah, we're a bunch of nerds there.
Yeah, I have nothing but phenomenal things to say about people who are into Trek.
What's Eric doing these days?
Oh, you're so sweet to ask about Eric. You know what? I have not talked to him recently, but I'm connected to him on Facebook. And holy cow, he just had a beautiful wedding for his son.
Did he
Um,
become a lawyer?
He did become a lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah. And he works. He specializes, I believe. Joe, tell me if I'm wrong.
No,
In
I know he's a lawyer. That's
working
all.
in disability, advocating for kids to be in schools with other kids with differing abilities, if you will. He's healthy. He and his wife Lori look great, and the marriage is going strong. His son just got married, and all these beautiful pictures of them on the beach in the wedding party. And he's out doing conventions. He just didn't he do a little cruise in Europe maybe a couple of months back or something. Everything kind of went on hold during the pandemic, I will admit. But I think he got out maybe a month or two back on a river cruise with Cruise Trek. People have tried to recreate what Joe did all those years, and they're okay. But they're not Sea Trek,
not
let me
Sea
tell you. No, not even close.
Should
It's
have
all different.
a reunion, but
I know, right? We used to be the whole ship.
I'm retired, Lori.
Do you remember? We used to be the whole ship.
The whole ship.
And then the first time you got on a ship and you weren't the whole ship, it was so funny to watch people look at us like what's happening? There are Klingons coming down the It's like, yeah, we're on board, and you're gonna be seeing some interesting things.
The one cruise that I got to do was Sea Trek 97.
Yeah,
And yeah, we weren't the whole ship. So
you weren't the whole ship. Yeah.
that's the one where on the way back, we had the.
Oh yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah.
out of
Yeah.
LA.
I fell.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the LA one.
I fell right out of my bed. Yeah.
Yeah, we had
We were on the bottom.
quite a few injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Remember that was that they were dodging a small boat. Right?
Yeah.
No, what happened was there were two fishing trawlers,
Yes.
and they were in
Yeah,
the
in the
area where
lane.
the ships go through.
Yeah.
So to avoid one,
Yeah.
the ship went like this, and actually,
My ex-husband.
no, O'Reilly,
Oh.
Bill O'Reilly, Robert O'Reilly and myself and a few other fans, we were on the dance floor, and this is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And when the ship went in a 45-degree angle, we actually went like this up against the glass. And we're actually looking, and we're looking down, and we saw the trawler. But then the ship had to go back in the opposite direction to avoid another trawler.
Oh my God.
And then we went flying in the other direction. Well, people that were in bed all fell out,
Yeah.
and they
I think
they had
hit them
quite
in
a
the
few
head.
ambulances.
I was in bed, and my ex-husband was up in one of the bars, and he said all the bottles came off,
All over the place.
crashed off the shelves and
The
stuff.
gift shop,
Yeah.
disaster.
Yeah.
in the 95, wasn't it? It came in and it sailed back out.
The celebration.
And it caught fire.
It caught fire.
Oh right.
Yeah.
What happened? Here, this is my story.
Oh, not at all, Joe. Please.
Every time that I did a cruise, we would do a contract for the next cruise 2 years later. So we would have the brochure and start taking registration. So we did the 90, it was the 95 cruise,
It
right?
was a 95.
Yeah, so 93 did that, and so 95 cruise. So as soon as we started promoting the 95 cruise, after we got back from the 93 cruise, we get a call from the FBI that they want to rent, they want the ship we're on for their charter, and they can't move it. So my partner says, can we move it up 1 week? I said, sure, we just started promoting it. We just changed the dates and let everybody know. So we moved it up 1 week. Best thing that we ever did.
Yes.
Because what happened was, we had a great cruise. We got off the ship, and then everybody's boarding to the next one. The FBI's boarding to the next one. And I'm at home, and Carol calls me, turn on the TV. Turn on any channel. And here is our ship on fire, drifted in the Atlantic Ocean, and for a whole week, all those people were stuck in the ship, and another ship trying to get there, trying to get the people
Heart
off.
attack on board.
Imagine if we,
And I kept telling Joel that night, don't you smell something burning?
yeah,
And like, yeah, Larry goes, my husband at the time, Larry, the one that from the airport.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Lori, you're Marios.
Oh my goodness! Duh.
So I kept saying, something is on fire, but I'm always paranoid on boats, right? And these two kept saying, ex-Vietnam, and the other one, oh, no, you're crazy. I'm like,
Right.
we're burning. Nobody believed me. We'd leave, and a couple hours, they had set sail.
yeah, they had already gone into the ocean. They were about 2 hours in
Yeah,
after the port.
they're in the
And
water.
they were stuck out there for a whole week while Carnival was trying to get another ship to get everybody off. All I always say is, can you imagine if that would have been our cruise with, I think it was 12 or 15 stars?
Yeah.
You were there.
But you
Yeah.
know, it was
Yeah.
funny because everyone I ever went, so I went on 93, and in 93 we picked up the refugees.
Yeah, 93. Oh,
no, Yeah.
It was
So I did 93, 95.
no, it's 91.
I didn't do, no, it was 93, because I didn't do 91.
Oh yeah, that's the one where we had Diane Moldar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going around Cuba, and all of a sudden the captain says we have to pull off because we're going to pick up some Cuban refugees. So
Was I on that ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
were
So,
missing.
so everybody goes up to the top of the boat,
You're
to the
already.
ship, and on the
This
one
is
side,
Information.
I vaguely
You
remember
were
this.
emceeing that one.
Yeah.
Okay, with Eric.
Yeah.
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 so every cruise has had an adventure.
No. I don't remember anything big for 2001, which was the last one I went on.
That was
What's
last year.
that?
Yeah, Alaska. That was probably
Oh,
one of my favorites.
that was quite fabulous. Quite fabulous.
Which cruise ship was this?
Alaska, that was,
Was that Norwegian?
no, it was still a Carnival. It was, crap, I can't think of the name.
It was one of the big ones.
The Spirit. It was Spirit.
Carnival Spirit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes, Carnival Spirit.
I don't know. If
I
somebody
only-
hadn't
I only
asked about
have-
Eric,
Because it
I
was a fairly
going to.
new ship.
Yes, it was. I scrapbooked, so literally all of mine are in 12 by 15 albums. And that 1 week cruise, 1 week, I took 17 rolls of film in Alaska. It's a 2-volume set.
Wow. Well, I liked it because we were told to bring 2 evening gowns. Like you had to bring two evenings of formal wear. It was like,
Yep.
wow.
It was,
So we got gussied up.
yeah.
There was real art hanging in the stairwells. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was she.
That was a fun one.
Just curious, has anybody, well, except for the folks I know, has anybody here been on any of the new Star Trek cruises?
Oh, the
want
CBS
to.
cruises?
I want to go. They get sold out so fast.
Why? You
Now that
curious to
the-
know
now
what the
that these are
experience is?
grown-
Oh,
That's
no,
what
I know
they
what
say.
the experience is.
Oh,
I
tell me.
went in the 2017, believe me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So tell us.
A friend of mine, Donna, said, you gotta go on. I said, I don't know. You know, it's one thing to be the promoter, and now all of a sudden I'm just a fan. But I went, and the only reason I went was it was 2017. It was 30 years after I created Star Trek Cruises, and it was 10 years after I retired from Star Trek Cruises. So I decided to go, and it's totally different. I've had a lot of people that go on it, and they've been of mine says they can't do anything. They don't do it right. First of all, they keep all the stars up on the upper deck, and the stars like Robin will come down, but your other bigger stars, they just stay up there, and they only come down to do their thing. and then they go back up again. It's a
It's
concierge
like, what's the
for-
point of being on the ship
It
with
was
everybody
always
if
so-
you're gonna hide?
It was always so fun because you never knew who you were going to sit down next to somewhere. Or,
Right.
And,
Right.
and also, everybody that one of my cruises got an autographed picture of the
Yeah.
stars. We send us the autographs, the pictures to the stars,
Yeah.
they send them. So when you boarded the ship, you get a package with autograph for everybody. And on the cruise, everybody came off with a group photo.
yes,
In other
I
words,
love my group
everybody
photos.
went through, I mean, can you imagine doing
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, right.
1,000 people in less than 2 hours?
I remember those hallways.
I mean, it was like,
Yeah. You ran in, sat down, ran up, ran in, sat down, ran up.
I still remember I would say, okay, next one, sit down, smile,
Yep.
camera,
Get out.
go, next one. And we kept this going on until we got everybody. And then that evening, the photos were already up, ready to be picked up.
Yep.
And so they don't do that on the
No,
CBS
on the new ship, on the this new company, you have to buy the autographs if you want for each of the stars. You gotta pay for each of the, if you want photographs with each of the stars.
Wow, so
It's,
you're spending
they
a lot
get
of
you,
money
they get
on
you
the
to
ship.
get on, and then they get you while you're on.
I'm sorry, it's so far away. Oh, I see, I can see it. Yep, yep,
See
yep,
it?
yep, yep, yep. Cool.
One of my favorite memories
Yeah, I remember
from
that.
Sea Trek 97
I
is
remember.
Yeah, that
we were on one of the
Yes, I do.
snorkeling boats with
Yeah.
Oh,
Robert
Robert
O'Reilly
O'Reilly.
doing the
Yeah.
Macarena.
Oh, really? I love it.
I remember
Yeah.
by the end, it was a drunk Robert O'Reilly doing the monologue.
That was great.
And then Robert, he had the eyes. She has the eyes, and she was wearing one of those green tree frog
Oh, yeah.
T-shirts that had the eyes. So, it was
So,
all
yeah,
three
all
of
these
them.
eyes. Yeah, I got a picture of Robert with all these eyes. All you see are all these eyes. And then that was the one that you and Eric were doing, the Where's Minyak?
So you
Oh,
and,
right, okay, okay. You know, you always
Oh,
try
it
to
was
come
her,
up
no,
with
it was you and
something.
Mark.
you
It
and
was
your,
you
your
as Mark.
ex.
Yeah.
And because Eric wasn't on there, so y'all were doing the Where's Minyak, and so then we had to find pictures. So I grabbed my photo and
She's the one that won the Where's Minyak.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So, yeah,
God, you're always,
yeah.
it's like we're always trying to come up with something
Yeah.
fun and fresh and, yeah, yeah.
And Robin and Eric were my MCs. And then the last night, every star that's going on the cruise, they've been told ahead of time, you've got to come up with some kind of a shtick because it's called the gala. So you either sing or play a musical instrument.
Do a Shakespeare monologue.
So Robin
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Eric always
Just what you
did
want to hear on a
together.
ship.
Yeah.
Frickin' Shakespeare. Anyway, no disparaging, no aspersions. Anyway. Yeah, no, Eric's, I just lashed myself onto Eric, you know, I'm not the leader on that one. He is so talented. The guy, you know, had he been, again, you know how I was saying earlier about somebody kind of pulling you into something, I think had he landed on a successful sitcom with him as a character, like Ed Bundy or something along those lines, what is that actor's name that played Ed Bundy? Ted Bundy, no. Al Bundy,
was
and his
the
name is
character.
Ed
And
O'Neill. Thank you.
O'Neill.
That's it. Eric, yeah, he is a very, very big comic talent, don't you think? Yeah. Anyway. Christopher.
I was curious, I know that you worked on MacGyver, but did you get a chance to interact with Henry Winkler since he was the producer of MacGyver?
Well, actually, I did. And Henry was kind of a jackass. It was the strangest thing because, of course, we all, you know, have an expectation about the guy just because he was, you know, Fonzie. And I met him because he was present at you guys call it ADR. It's the rolling in sound after the fact. It's already been shot, and maybe a dog barked, or of course something interfered with the soundtrack. So you have to go in and dub your lines. And he wanted, so get this, there was no sound interference. He wanted me to change my interpretation of the character. And I thought, well, visually I can't change it. It's already, you know, filmed. So you want with my voice, but with the same rhythm, to change. He said it was too bitchy. And it's like, oh my God. I'm you know, it's Richard Dean Anderson as MacGyver and me trying to get out of a country with contraband film, showing corruption, and I'm supposed to be nicer. Anyway, it just was the strangest thing, and so he left me with that instruction, and then left. And the sound guy and I, he would bring up, we would go to the moment in the script where they want you to sync what's on the screen, and the guy would look at me like this. I don't know how you would change that. Like, I just don't see how you would change it. And I'm like, all right, let's just do the best we can. So I felt like there was a little bit of I don't know what to call that. A male judgment on a strong woman. It's like, well, you cast me as a strong woman. I'm a kick-ass journalist in a middle or Central American country. She's got to have some grit, right? She's got to have some strength and some aggression and some, So anyway, whatever. So that's my full experience with him, at least on a personal level. And I was telling Christopher yesterday, that was my first on-screen kiss with Richard Dean Anderson, and I suggested to him, we were both single at the time, that we practice, that we rehearse in his trailer, and he's like, okay, and so that was kind of fun. Making out with Richard Dean Anderson in the middle of the day in his trailer, waiting till you get the shot. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So thanks, Christopher. It was fun. At the time, apparently they liked me enough there was talk of maybe rolling my character in some way, but MacGyver was about MacGyver. It wasn't about some, other character with him, a female character, sidekick. But they did bring me back just to reprise the character in a birthday celebration for him. Later on in the season, so that was nice to get to come back. He's a good egg. I wonder what happened to him though. Did he ever settle down or get married? Was he a perennial bachelor? I just have no idea what happened to him in the world.
Richard Dean Anderson?
Yeah.
You want to do Stargate?
That's true, Stargate. But then, so is he
I don't know anything about his marriage life.
He's retired now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Wikipedia exists. You can always check that.
There you go. Yeah, I will do that. I will check it out. Yep. Anybody else?
I have a totally Star Trek question, but it's going to win a trivia competition at some point.
Oh, cool.
What is your favorite type of cuisine to cook?
Ooh. I don't know if this is a cuisine or not, but I like peasant food. Do you know, like slop? Like, you start with a protein in the pan, and then you put a bunch of vegetables in there, and then maybe make a batch of rice, and you mix it all up with a little olive oil and butter, and boom.
And usually he's like, I love it. Like, don't look for it again because it's not happening.
Right.
Usually here he's
Because you just make it up, right? You just make it up. So, yeah, I make a pretty good Italian sauce, from scratch. Lately, my favorite thing to make is I put the tomatoes in the pan with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, garlic, fresh tomatoes. I chop them up so it's nothing from a can. And then you add a pound of pork, Italian sausage. But the twist is, and this is a Vietnamese thing, you add cilantro. And you serve it up. You might add some chicken broth so that it's more brothy than saucy. And the garlic isn't in it, but I like the garlic in this recipe. And then you add a fresh chopped cucumber to the top, to the soup. Once you serve it, a little dash of sour cream and maybe a little more fresh cilantro on top. It's so freaking good. It's so good. My hairdresser, my hairdresser came from Vietnam when she was just a young lady, and so she's extremely, American at this point. But she every now and then she'll bring spring rolls or some other fabulous creation to work with her because they eat in the little back room at the salon. And my appointment's right at lunchtime. And she'll say, would you like to try some of what I've made? And I'm like, yeah. And that was one of the things she had brought out was this wonderful soup. She added a little shrimp to it. But there are a couple of people in my world that don't like shrimp, so I have never done it that way. But the pork and the shrimp, can you imagine, in the soup?
Do you
So
serve it cold or warm?
warm, oh warm, definitely a brothy soup in a bowl. It's kind of like, have you guys done this poke craze? I love poke bowls.
Poke bowls, oh.
Oh my God, right? They're so delicious, with fresh salmon and whatever.
Teriyaki
Oh.
stuff on top.
Oh, love it, love it. There's very little food I don't like. I've told everybody this weekend, what goes in my mouth is really important to me, like really important to me. I lost 50 pounds 3 years ago, and I've done that now 4 times in my life, like 30 to 40 pounds to 50 pounds. I've done it 4 times in the last 20 years. I am not doing it again. So now, but when you get in, very connected to your calories, you want them to matter. So, for instance, I would rather chew a calorie than drink a calorie. So when I'm in it to win it, I will not. I would rather eat the orange than drink the orange. And likewise, just however I'm spending those calories, I like to feel full. So I will eat, a mound of broccoli versus wasting time on a dash of rice. I just give that up altogether. So all white foods pretty much go by the wayside, and I stick to massive vegetables and really good, clean, lean proteins. So anyway, yeah. So I really don't like to make a mistake with food. So I vet it pretty well. Like last night we went out and everybody was scoping out this menu at this pub, and we all nailed it. The shepherd's pie was the thing to order. It did not let us down.
Where did you go?
Awesome. It was MacGyver's. Wee Pub. Do you know this place?
Where is
We
it?
pub. Yeah.
Where is it, guys? Is it in Kingwood?
About 10 miles from here.
Yeah.
It's in St. Mary's.
And likewise, the Longhorn menu the night before, I was very very, scoping it all out. Oh my God, like okay, so we were laughing at the table, and I felt bad that I was the killjoy on this, but there was an appetizer of fried shrimp, right, which is a very popular thing now, snappy shrimp or crispy shrimp or whatever they call it. 1,000 calories. 1,000 calories just for the dang shrimp. And then you add the dip, another 230 calories. So it was a 1,200 calorie appetizer. You could get the entree shrimp grilled, and it was only 160 calories for 8 shrimp. Like, see what I mean? Like, wow. I said, because I was enticed by the appetizer, and then I went, oh, and I deferred to the entree, which was much healthier for me. So anyway. So I'm not a prick about food. I like to eat. I love to eat. I love to eat too much, obviously. My opening of my show, the first line of the one-woman show that I wrote is, I've looked at most everything in life that interested me, and I've asked one simple question: how do I get fat in my mouth? It's very simple. Didn't matter what the thing was. I just wanted to get it in my mouth.
So in the event you do put this on, where can we look for advertising?
I know, right? No, but you're
Farmers.com.
encouraging me, and I really do have to go back and have some fun with it. I just was a little worried that, somebody that might want to buy a house with me doesn't want to know about my, like where my vajayjay's been. That might be a little lucky for somebody, but you know what? I might have to get over it.
There are community theaters all over the country
Right?
that would love to have
Right,
you.
girlfriend? Well, you two should tell this group what you do. And maybe, forgive me that I lumped you together.
No.
Do you do the same thing? Are you a cave dweller?
Yes, I'm a cave